The life simulation you're about to experience today is that of a 47-year-old village mechanic who's been fixing shared bikes in Hangzhou for 3 years. Just call me Lao Wu. I'm 47 this year, and I get 3 yuan for every bike I repair. Every morning I head out at 4 a.m. on my little electric scooter with a metal toolbox strapped to the back, racing toward the nearest subway exit. 3 yuan per bike, and if I'm quick with my hands, I can fix up to 80 bikes a day. At the subway exit, the area is packed with toppled shared bikes, red, yellow, and blue piled together like a stack of cards someone knocked over. I crouch down. The chain on the first bike is already twisted up like a fried dough twist. 3 years ago, I came to Hangzhou from my hometown in Hunan, getting into this line of work through my cousin from the same village. He told me bike repair isn't a skilled trade. If you can use a wrench, you're good. The key is fast hands, a strong back, and a thick skin. I was 44 then. I'd hauled cement on construction sites for nearly 20 years, and my knees were half ruined. My cousin said fixing bikes meant no climbing. You just squat and earn your money. Better than the construction site. I believed him, and I came. On day 1, the platform handed me a scanner gun, a work order app, and a tool kit. I opened the kit, and there were just 5 things: wrench, screwdriver, chain pliers, hand pump, and a few spare inner tubes. The veteran taught me for half an hour, had me follow him through 3 repairs, then said, "You're good. Figure out the rest yourself." I was nervous. I held the wrench backwards twice, and my knees cracked every time I squatted down and stood back up. On my first day, I fixed 22 bikes. The settlement slip read 66 yuan. I stared at that number and didn't dare tell my family. My wife thought I was making 300 a day. After all, the recruitment ad said over 10,000 yuan a month. Now let me tell you what 4 a.m. really means. Hangzhou winters at 4 a.m. The sky is black as ink and the streetlights haven't even switched shifts yet. I leave from the urban village in the north, and it takes a 15-minute scooter ride to reach the first subway exit. Why head out at 4? Because between 5:30 and 6 is when morning rush hour cracks open. I have to finish the repairs before that, so commuters can scan and ride away. 1 minute late, and that bike gets shoved aside, ignored. There's a saying in our line: grab the golden 2 hours. Bikes fixed before the morning rush get priority dispatch from the platform. Premium bikes, 3.5 yuan each. After 6, it drops to 3. By the afternoon, only 2.5. How many bikes pile up at a subway exit? I counted once. Exit B alone could stack up 120 bikes before morning rush. Me and old Zhang in our zone, 2 of us at most, can fix maybe 30. The rest gets hauled away by the truck crews. 3 years of crouching has set my body into one fixed shape. Left knee on an old foam pad, right foot on the kickstand, left hand bracing the frame, right hand on the wrench. When I get home, that knee patch is always black. When it's cold, my hands freeze so stiff I can't grip the wrench, so I tuck it into my coat to warm up before using it. When it's hot, sweat drips onto the chain oil, and my gloves turn as black as if I'd just pulled them out of the bottom of a wok. This kind of suffering, I ate worse on the construction site. It's nothing. The hardest part isn't the cold or the heat. It's the morning rush crowd. They scan the bike I just fixed and ride off without even lifting their heads. I crouch there like a spare part the city has forgotten. But once, a young guy in a suit turned his head before riding off and said, "Thanks for your work." Just those words, and I fixed 10 extra bikes that day. In this line, one kind word is worth half a can of Red Bull. Now let me tell you what I actually fix every day. On the surface, this job has variety. In reality, it's the same 5 things over and over: chain, brake, inner tube, pedal, lock. That's 90% of my work orders. First, chain slipped or jammed. This is what I fix most. About 4 out of every 10 bikes have chain issues. The reason is simple. People are lazy. They pedal backwards once and the chain falls off, then they push hard and it jams. Chains are quick. A skilled hand does one in 2 minutes. Your hands will turn black for sure. Even my dishwater at home runs gray. My wife couldn't stand it at first. Later she bought me a tin of industrial hand soap just for me. Second, brakes failing. If either the front or back brake fails, the platform marks it as a dangerous bike, and it has to be fixed on the spot. Otherwise, if someone gets in an accident, the blame lands on us. 9 times out of 10, brake failure means a loose brake cable or worn-out brake pads. Loose cables you tighten with a wrench. Worn pads you replace. A pair of pads costs me 8 yuan. The platform doesn't reimburse. It comes out of my own tool kit. Third, flat inner tubes. This one depends on the weather. Rainy days, lots of glass shards. An inner tube costs 12 yuan to buy. A patch is 20 cents of glue. The platform pays me 3 yuan per repair, the same flat rate. Patching is a hassle, so if I can replace it, I just replace it. 3 minutes per bike, faster than patching. But I have to keep 10 inner tubes in my kit at all times. With that bag on my back, my whole back smells like rubber. Fourth, pedals falling off. Sounds small, but it's the most annoying. When a pedal drops, the threads usually strip. You have to grip it with a special pedal wrench and crank hard. The old injury on my wrist. That's how I got it. A pair of pedals costs me 6 yuan. The platform pays 4. Looks like a loss, but pedal repairs are high priority. The platform sends me the easiest nearby bikes. Sort of a hidden subsidy. Fifth, lock problems. Smart lock, dead battery, GPS drift, jammed lock cylinder. I've seen all 3. The most absurd one, a lock jammed up with a takeout container. I crouched there fishing it out for 10 minutes. Locks are electronic parts. Platform rules say we can only swap the battery. If the main board is dead, the bike has to be hauled back to the warehouse. Battery swap pays 5 yuan, the highest unit price. But you don't see many in a day. It's a luck job. Add up all 5 categories. I average 60 to 80 bikes a day. Most months, the settlement slip reads somewhere between 21,000 and 24,000 yuan. Sounds like a lot, right? Hold on. Let me do the math. The platform commission is the biggest blade in this industry. The official cut is 30%. The platform says it covers the dispatch system, insurance, and training. So out of 22,000 in gross revenue, 6,600 gets sliced off first. That leaves 15,400. Then I deduct parts costs. Chains, brake pads, inner tubes, pedals, batteries, at least 1,200 a month. Plus scooter charging, tool wear, gloves, and masks, another 300 or so. Then 800 for rent, 1,500 for food, phone bill, partial self-paid social security. After all the bits and pieces, I take home a steady 8,000 yuan. That number is written on my apartment wall. It's the passing line I set for myself each month. The platform's recruitment ad says over 10,000 yuan a month. That number is gross, not take-home. When I first arrived, that word fooled me. I went home thinking I could send my wife 8,000. Turns out only 5,600 was left. My wife didn't say a thing. That night at dinner, she just fried 1 extra egg and pushed most of it into my bowl. Chewing on that egg, I thought to myself, from now on, she's going to eat eggs every day. Not one day missed. Now let me tell you about deep winter. December to February, the 3 hardest months in this trade. Not because of the cold, because there are no bikes to fix. When it snows or rains, fewer people ride. Fewer dispatches. 40 bikes a day, and I thank the heavens. Hangzhou winter doesn't look fierce, -2 or 3 degrees Celsius. But that wet cold drills into your bones. I wear 2 layers of gloves year-round, windproof outside, thin cotton inside. The moment I peel them off to handle a part, the pain is real. On rainy days, the worst part is the work order photos. The platform requires 3 pictures after every repair, front, back, and side. Rainwater splashes the screen, the touch won't register, the fingerprint won't read. I'm cursing while I huff on the screen to wipe it clean. Last year on the 28th day of the lunar 12th month, Hangzhou got hit with heavy snow. I still went out at 4 a.m. and only fixed 11 bikes all day. After settlement, plus pushing my dead scooter home for 2 kilometers, that day I was actually 30 yuan in the red. I crawled back into the apartment and sat on the bed. My wife brought a bowl of ginger soup from the kitchen and didn't ask how much I'd made. She just asked if I was cold and if my shoes were wet. In that moment, The loss outside got smoothed over the second I came home. Winter has a hidden cost too. Bikes are hard to find. In winter, more bikes get pushed into corners and back alleys. I see one dot on the platform app, but I have to circle half the neighborhood to find it. A 3 yuan job, and it takes 20 minutes just to get there. I complained to a fellow worker. Old Zhang said, "Lao Wu, don't be mad. The platform's dispatch algorithm doesn't care how far you walk. It only cares what time that bike goes back online. We're just the people who make the bikes stand back up." I still remember that line. The people who make the bikes stand back up. Sounds like a joke, but also like an epitaph. The lower the rung in the city, the more this is what it feels like. My existence is just to keep some invisible system spinning. I didn't go home for Chinese New Year. From the 29th of the 12th month through the 6th of the first month, the platform doubled the rate, 6 yuan per bike. I held out alone in Hangzhou for 8 days and made 4,200. New Year's Eve, I rang in the year at the subway exit. At midnight that night, I finished my last bike, pulled out my phone for a video call. My son had just fallen asleep. My wife pointed the camera at his face. She didn't say a word. I didn't either. I just watched. Watched for 3 minutes. I hung up, stuffed the phone in my pocket, put the wrench back in the kit, and got on the scooter. The first second of the new year, I was on the road. This trade has no countdown bell, just bike bells and the click of a key turning in a lock cylinder. At this point, plenty of folks watching are probably wondering, "Lao Wu, can a guy actually do this job?" Let me give it to you straight. No sugarcoating, no scaring you off. Make up your own mind after you hear me out. First, this job runs on your body, not your brain. If you're under 35, knees and back in good shape, and can squat for 2 hours without cramping, you can make money at this. Over 45 and thinking of doing this full-time? I'd think twice. Second, no deposit, no tuition. The only entry barrier is you need an electric scooter to cover your zone. If you don't have one, the platform rents you one, 300 a month docked from your pay. Drive it for 2 or 3 years, and the scooter still isn't yours. That's a small trap. Think it through. Third, the platform commission only goes up. In my 3 years, the official cut is 30%, but with insurance fees, training fees, and tool deposits hidden underneath, the real cut is closer to 40%. Newcomers, don't trust the ads. Ask a veteran how much actually stays in this zone. Fourth, and most important, don't treat this as a lifelong career. I'm saving money myself. I plan to do this until I'm 50, save up 150,000 yuan, then go back home and open a repair shop, electric scooters, bicycles, whatever. Be my own boss. These 3 years fixing bikes taught me one thing. The city looks shiny, but every shiny patch needs someone wiping it down. Those rows of brand new bikes at the subway exits. Behind them are people like us, crouching there at 4 a.m. I don't think this work is shameful. My son is 8 this year. On video calls he asks, "Dad, what do you do in the city?" I say, "Dad's a repairman. I make 80 bikes stand back up every day." He says, "Wow, that's amazing." That one line is worth more than 10,000 yuan. Every day I get back to my rental, I hang the tool kit on the nail behind the door, line up the wrenches, hang the chain pliers neatly. Tomorrow at 4 a.m., I have to head out again. The bikes at the subway exit, they don't wait for anyone. 3 years, 8,000 yuan a month. You tell me, is this work worth doing? A factory job paying 5,000 base salary. Would you trade with me? Tell me in the comments. Lao Wu is crouching at the Hangzhou subway exit, waiting for your answer.